So I've actually started doing something recently, which I think is quite unique and makes sense. So rather than like breaking habits for a long time, periodically breaking them. So for example, like having caffeine. I have quite a lot of caffeine nowadays, and it's getting a bit ridiculous. Like at minimum two coffees a day, probably. I'd say 1 to 2 coffees a day, which is quite a lot. And then I just have like decaf and stuff. Um, but I do enjoy coffee, and I don't want to not have coffee forever. So what I've started doing is implementing like a weekly ban system, or not ban system, like a weekly rule system of how much of something I can have, if that makes sense. So for example, this week I've got like zero alcohol because I went out on Saturday and I had a bit to drink, so that's like my alcohol. That was like my pretty much my first alcohol of the year, apart from like Tuesday. So yeah, no alcohol. I've got two caffeines, so I can have two coffees this week. Um, one Diet Coke can, and then zero processed food and sugar. So it's pretty strict, but it's also a bit lenient. So I've got two options to have a coffee throughout the week. Now I can have them today on Monday, or I can have them, or I can spread it out a bit, which makes a lot more sense. Like for example, I'll probably save one for when I go down to Spoons and do some work like outside because they have unlimited coffee, so I'll get like one coffee there and then like a few like decafs or whatever. But yeah, the reason I'm doing this is, well, not specifically that reason, but I've weighed myself again, and I've dropped 0.6 kg this week, which is a okay amount, but I'm still at 87 kg, which is like the highest I've ever weighed, which is mad. And I literally think it's because I'm not moving around as much as I used to. Like I used to have a really active job, and now that I do all my work sat down at a computer, even though I'm still going on like a hour walk a day and still going to the gym every day, it's still not enough, and I'm still eating pretty well. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm filling myself up with chocolate all day. I'm struggling. I mean, obviously I've put on muscle since like last year, for example, but still it's pretty crazy. So I obviously need to lower my intake of food and increase my um like actual movement, I guess. But that's one thing I actually want to do. Actually, I want to shove on here that I want to do like a spin class this week because I ain't done one in ages and I know how tiring they are. Um, if you don't know what they are, it's essentially it's like you're on a bike and then there's someone at the front and it's like 45 minutes of just on a bike on a and it's just tiring. So yeah, I'll do one of them this week. See, I could do it today and get it over with, or I can leave it for a bit. So yeah, that's just an interesting thing. I'm just testing to see how it works. I think it's a good idea really because it allows me to be strict but also lenient when I need to. So two coffees this entire week. That's not bad to be fair. So I'm not gonna have a coffee today. Might have might have a coffee tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, and that's my new little rule that I'm doing. Anyway, it's like 6 a.m. I've got a lot of work to do today. I've also got a book call today. I've got a call with a client, with a potential client, so hopefully I can close that as well. Um, yeah, things are good. Things are good. All right, see you in a bit. Bye.